Now let's have a look at the differences between bronzer and contouring. I'm using a contour stick and a powder bronzer for this application. The contour stick is by Mecca and I'm going to be using a dual fiber brush to apply that contour. The contour goes where the shadow catches your face. So contours usually go under the cheekbones, under the jawline, under the nose and under the lip. So imagine having a light sitting above your head and think about where the shadows are going to be hitting your face. So that's why we're going to be contouring. As you can see here, I just scraped a little bit of the product and placed on my palette. And I'm placing a very small amount of the product under the cheekbone. We want to be placing this product on an angle, so from the middle of your ear towards the corner of your mouth. Just imagine there's a line there. It's basically just following the bone structure of your face and creating a little bit more dimension by adding depth to your cheekbones. I like to use circular motions just to blend the product into the skin. You don't want your contour to look stripy. And as you can see, I just marked the line where I'm going to go with the contour and then I start blending everything into the skin. I like to use either a big fluffy brush or a dual fiber brush. I use contour sticks usually for normal to dry skin. But if you have oily skin, I would recommend looking for something a little bit more drier, such as powders, because cream sometimes can move on the skin, and you don't want that shadow to be moving around your face. Contours are usually 2 shades darker than your foundation, and you also should start just by mapping your face, just to see where you're going to be placing the product. And that's exactly the same thing I've done here. With a little line I created initially, and then I start blending it out into the skin. So contours will be sculpting and creating dimension to your face. Now moving to the bronzers. So bronzers would typically add color in places where the sun would naturally hit your face. So think about the holiday look. When you walk around in the sun for a little bit too long, you get that tan along your hairline. So that's exactly where you're actually going to be placing the bronzer. Bronzer usually adds warmth to the face. So see how I'm placing that around the hairline, a little bit on the temples, and I'll bring that all the way down to the top of the cheekbones, bronzing and contouring. Bronzing and contouring also have different colors and finishes. So bronzers are usually warmer undertones, so like orange reds and yellows, and often have a shimmery finish. Contour products are usually more cool tone, which means they are more neutral, like many earth tones, so more ashy and bluish. And generally, they have a matte finish as well. I do suggest using a really big fluffy brush to apply bronzers, because it looks more even on the skin, and you don't want to have patches of darker color all over your foundation. You want to look like one color is just blending into one another, very nice and natural. And that will give you that sun-kissed look.